are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. AMP2.TV presents Tell Us Your Business, where you're invited on the air to tell us what makes your business stand out in the community. It's important we hear from you to tell us all we need to know about what you do best. Tell Us Your Business uses the latest radio and television production systems, and all shows can be seen on AMP2.TV. If you have a question for our guest, call 888-565-1470. Now, let's get ready as our guest hits the airwaves and informs us about what we need to know on Tell Us Your Business.
Mic open.
And welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe on Tell Us Your Business.
After hours.
After hours?
You and I are going old school, Freddie.
Whose hours? My hours or your hours?
We're still in the middle of hours. It is what? How many hours we've been here? Since 9 o'clock this morning?
The amazing thing is that on this side of the equator, I get to see all the gizmos. Everything that we talk. This is old school. This is the way we used to do it when I used to be behind. There was never this camera on me.
The camera's not. Well,
I got a camera with a whole bunch of stuff on me.
You know, it's going old school. It was you and me before we had 12 producers and a studio and in the Heart of Delray Gallery.
And everybody went home.
And Art Walk. And tonight we happen to be back at the Heart of Delray Gallery. We're still here, actually, from all day because tonight is the 2nd anniversary of the Heart of Delray Gallery. We have been here for a year and a half. We have been back at WNN for a year and a half.
Today.
It's not.
We've been here for a year and a half.
A year and a half.
Today's been the longest day.
Today's a year and a half. What is the longest day of your life? How has it been? That's about today.
Today we were all over the place today. We had a lot of people in here today. We had new interns. We had old interns. Even an intern that we haven't seen in a while showed up today.
But you know what? Today the Brooklyn Cafe Gazette, the March edition, went out. So check your inbox for March Style, the Brooklyn Cafe Gazette. Our producers did an amazing job. All hands on deck. Heck, you can download all the information that we have on the cafe on your V card. Yes, the virtual business card. It is a digital marketing card, so you can download all of that information. If you want to subscribe and be on our email list, you can go to our website at brooklyncafe.tv, register that, and in the meantime, Freddie, you going to come over and join me on set? No. Yes.
I can't.
Maybe. You can't?
No, because if I go on set, I can't flip the cameras back and forth.
So just keep it on one camera.
Or just keep it on here? I could do that. Yeah,
if you're in the area of Boca, Delray, Boynton, Lake Worth, Palm Beach, you just want to take a ride, come on out to Art Walk. We are at 1440 North Federal Highway in Delray Beach. We're at the Heart of Delray Gallery in Studio A. Art Walk is from 6 until 9 p.m. It is an anniversary party. There are about 85 artists. There are 6 new artists that just came out this week. Some of the paintings and the artwork is absolutely spectacular. There's free Prosecco, some music. It's an anniversary party. Come into Studio A and say hi. How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
You know what? You know, I just have to follow up to what Jay and Janine just said on the Momentum Mindset show. I love all the shows we do, but I love the fact that they are on Friday nights and they are so authentic and they sum up the week and they said, you know what? This week kind of wasn't so great. That's really weren't quite the words they used, but sometimes when you're in the moment of not such a great week, you just got to get it off your chest and say what it is. And I love that show because I think it gets everyone geared up for the weekend to say, you know what, maybe the week wasn't so great, but we're going into the weekend and tomorrow's a new day. Even Jay said, you know what, I feel a whole lot better an hour later than I felt when I walked in the studio.
Well, the amazing thing is that they summed up their week. And for us, it's been a long week. I mean, we've done remotes this week. We've trained people. We've had meetings after meetings after meetings. It's been a tough week. You know,
I say that every week, though.
But there's also medical issues in our families and problems and yada, yada, yada. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on. And the message I got from them is you keep going.
You say that all the time.
You got to keep going.
And that is what Janine says all the time. You keep going, and Jay says we're stronger together. And you know what? Both of those things are 100% true because you have to keep going. Otherwise, you stop. And you can't ever stop because then you lose momentum. I think their show...
You drown. You fall into the bottom of the earth.
I think their show as a whole is a momentum. And it's everything we say Monday through Friday from 12 to 2 is what they say on Fridays from 5 to 6. Just a different delivery, but the message is always the same.
They do it in an hour. We take 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week.
We talk a lot. We got a lot going on.
We talk too much. You know, but the bottom line here is that you want to always keep going. Now, the week that we've had, the show that you put together, because I don't even know who comes on the show, but like the show that you put together, it was some real courageous women that came forward.
Today was an amazing show.
But it's been like that all week. All week it's been about overcoming adversity, overcoming tragedy, overcoming. I'm not talking about a bad week. I'm talking about a bad life.
But as you say, the bottom line is you got to keep going, and there's always hope. And the stories, the book Invincible, and you can find that on Amazon. You can go to Elite Foundation, and yes, they are a publishing company, but they are also a foundation that fights human trafficking. And when we bring things forward on the cafe, we never know how it's going to come about. Usually when I hear it once, twice, by the third time it presents itself, we know we have to share it. And the human trafficking component has been so enormous, and especially in Palm Beach County. And today, actually, one of our guests that was supposed to come on, I ran into Dr. Jessica before the show, and she says, "Oh, I guess you got my email that you saw the guest, the first responder, couldn't come." I said, "I never got your email, but I figured this first responder didn't want to be recognized, because there's a reason they are the first responder, because they go into situations as a decoy." And that is exactly what was going to happen today, which is why they didn't join us on the show, because they had a big sting that was going on. Because
Did you know this?
I found out in the ladies' room before the show.
Do you know when this thing took place? Because you could be blowing it right now.
It happened.
It happened? You
it
know
happened
as a
while
fact?
we were on air.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Now, and I also want people to know, people have been texting me all day, we did not set this thing up because of the circumstances. We set it up way before the circumstances. So what you're seeing going on in the news right now is coincidence. And I know people don't believe in that, but we didn't do this because of what's going on in the news.
No, but apparently we should have, because
we should have, but we
should
didn't.
have known. But I did not realize the human trafficking, how enormous it is in Florida. You know, Florida's #2 in the country.
I don't think it's
for
2. I
human
think it's
trafficking.
bigger than that. I think it's 1.
Yep, it could be. You know, last week when we premiered, because we premiere our shows again on the weekend from earlier in the week, someone from Ghana wrote in. They were private messaging us that human trafficking in Ghana is so enormous. How did they reach out to the Elite Foundation?
There's a lot of countries.
And what
also,
you realize
yeah.
is people who say, "Who hears you? What's your reach of the radio station?" It's not only our reach on WNN locally and the reach on the iHeart app and the reach on all the apps. It's that the social media aspect, the good and the bad of it. They're commenting from Ghana and Kenya, and people are watching where you know there's human trafficking. You don't even think that it's in South Florida, but here it is in our own backyard.
And the funny thing about all this is that you try to encompass a lot of, somebody fell, a lot of material.
Yes.
That's what, too much Prosecco. A lot of material that you tried to cover. I mean, we had the West Palm Beach Sheriff, Alex Freeman, on
Yes.
here as well. He's running for sheriff in next year or at the end of this year. And again, we talked to him about circumstances that are going on, because he's privy to a lot of information. So, I mean, we try to share with the people this week, but I just want you to know that we didn't do it because of.
No, this was actually, and it was something I wasn't even sure how to bring forward. But when I met Dr. Jessica, and it was actually at a book launch for a coach.
Right.
And I met Dr. Jessica because, you know, when you're out networking, you don't have to go to a networking event. And as Jay and Janine say, just show up. The things that present themselves in life and opportunities, if you just show up for the opportunities, you never know what you're going to meet. I went out last weekend with my daughter to Art Walk in Fort Lauderdale and Flagler Village. The incredible people I've met, and vendors and hot sauce. We're going to have a new hot sauce in the cafe. We're going to have Brooklyn Cafe hot sauce. I mean, purses and bags and all the fun stuff and coffee carts. And then you go to book launches and you find other people. And Monday, there's another event. There's so many events. Just show up. And you know what they always say? If you stay home, nothing's going to happen.
That's true. If you don't throw the stone, you're never going to hear it bounce. You know, the funny thing is, today you had people in studio, like the lady from New Jersey Housewives. I don't even know her name. And they were in here today. And they want to do a segment on clothing. What is
Fashion
it?
trashing.
Which is, it was ridiculously funny. But, boy, talk about proving a point. That was unbelievable, the way this thing
Oh, well, what
started
happened
out.
this morning, you and I should really communicate a little bit better.
Well, I didn't know that you. We missed a phone call from the UK today who wants to collaborate with us as well. Now I gotta go find them, which is not gonna be easy to get them back on the iron. But everything that happened in here today was like a snowball effect. I mean, we're going to introduce starting Monday a limo company that's working with us, the official limo car of the Brooklyn Cafe. I mean, it's everywhere. It grows everywhere. People are finally getting hip and understand what's going on. And this week was like a showcase of all the different things that we do. And on top of all that, Tell Us Your Biz, we produce a lot of other shows.
Yes.
You know, Faith Washington, Becky and Boca. I mean, all these shows are on the network. You and your doctor, so that Lou doesn't get mad at me. Okay, just ask Jew. Ready, Set, and Go with Jordana Foster. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on. And we're looking to produce more to get it out there, because in our world, real deal, real-time radio is what we think works.
Well, it's the double exposure, right? It's the real-time radio, it's the social media, it's the multimedia, which is why we have a Gazette at the Cafe, and which is why we do the social media, Instagram and Twitch, because it's a multimedia approach. And sometimes we can sit here, and we laugh all the time that you wrote 7 pages of your book.
7.
7 pages. But you and I can sit here all day and talk, and we do. We sit here 5 days a week for 10, 12 hours, and we talk, but we write nothing down. And then there are the authors that come forward from the Invincible book, and 14 authors in 2,500 words, they share their story. But you and I, we don't sit and write down anything.
I don't even know 2,500 words.
You know, I had to work on the Gazette last night because we've got all these producers, and everyone keeps sending and putting material in. And I realized, you know what, someone's got to oversee it before it goes out. And then I looked at it, and then Teddy looked at it. Teddy is now my assistant, because it's just gotten to the point that I need an assistant because it's so enormous. But it's just the multimedia approach to get your information out there.
3 o'clock was the deadline, and you got it at 2:58.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and it went out. And it did went out. It went out to close to 800 people. We're trying to increase that number. We just can't work fast enough.
You know, and I was talking to Dr. Jessica when we started bringing our internship program forward, was a little over a year ago. And it was strictly out of pure need that we needed help. Never thinking that the pebble of needing the help, the interns and producers that come forward, they need help too. They need to learn, they need to be educated. And the millennials, it's a different population, and it's no judgment, but showing up, where we talked about getting dressed for interviews, showing up on time to work, so many different aspects, and everyone is unique that comes into our studio. You call it the calling.
Right.
And people come in, and one gentleman comes in today, and he says, so it's a no, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you said, I didn't say it was a no.
I never said it was. He didn't think I was going to hire him, is what he said. Oh, it's a no, right?
It's just a matter of finding your niche, because everyone has a gift. And wait to see what animators putting together for the Brain Bowl, right?
That's right. That's another project we're going to have, is the Brain Bowl. We have the Brain Bowl on the horizon. We're also taking remotes. We are doing 2 types of remotes now. We're doing shows, and we're going to do mini remotes. A mini remote is a 5 to 10, 15-minute piece at a restaurant or something that somebody wants to cover. We now have the ability of bringing it right into the cafe's doorsteps, which is fantastic. And you proved it today that it does work.
I have to say,
you had a California and Texas on the air that were on the screen with us back to back, and it worked. Impressed. And it was phenomenal.
I was impressed, because usually, well, when I first started working with you, I'd say something, you said, okay, yes. And then slowly it turned into a no. Can we do this? No. And then
no,
the next day, no. And then the next day you created it. And can we do this?
We didn't have it yet.
And you created that. And it has grown. And you once said to me, do you want 12 on vMix? And I went, are you crazy? 12? We could have done 12 today, because it worked beautifully. What you and Gio have created on the vMix platform, when they get it right, when the callers actually read the directions that I send out, and they come in on video, and they call on the phone, and our producers answer the phones the right way when we're not on radio, and they have this interactive conversation. We can do it all over the world. We've got someone from South America we're going to try and do on Monday to test that out, because it works in the United. The only thing I wasn't sure of was the 888 number calling in, but they said if you put the country code in first, it should be no problem.
You either put the country code in first, or you use Skype audio, and that works, and that's a free call.
But think about how amazing it is that the platform can grow so much that you can do an interview. You can talk to people around the world. The reach is enormous. You can get a different perspective, depending on the time zone, and they come right in.
That's right. It's what happened today. We spoke to California, then we spoke to Texas, and it didn't mean a beat. It didn't miss a beat. And the funny thing about what happened today, for the first time, we experimented back-to-back calls. And that particular system had not worked in the past, and it worked like a charm today. So when Teddy told me she's on, the second caller, I was amazed. I said, you mean she's on? Yes, and it worked beautifully.
What a great system. So
it works.
Give us a call. We're on radio today, 888-565-1470, and say hi to Ken. Normally I say hi to Joe, and then we had
now it's Ken.
Jack in our milkshake yesterday.
Yes.
Now it's Ken.
We have a whole bunch of people.
Ken, we need like a Ken milkshake or something we can add in.
We have a whole bunch of people, but if you want to call in, you want to share, listen, we even invite you to come on down and have a cup of coffee with us. Our branding bar segment is now open where you come and you'll be on the air and you talk to us about what you do. We unfolded that this week as well.
And what people don't realize, that because we're not often on at 6 o'clock at night, is that March 23rd is an enormous event that we're putting together at the BB&T Center in conjunction with the Florida Panthers. 7 o'clock p.m. the Panthers play the Boston Bruins, right? So if you like hockey, it's amazing. If you go, hockey's not my thing, but take a listen to this. If you purchase your tickets on our Groupmatics link, and there's a list of foundations, and you'll see the amazing video on Groupmatics that we have posted all over social media that HPR Productions put together for us. All you do is you purchase your tickets. $6 from every ticket goes back to one of those foundations, and all you have to do is type it in the box. So many choices, and the Panthers are going to pay these foundations after the game that the ticket sales go back to the foundations, because it's all about bringing awareness to what's in our community, and there's so many in our community. Oh my gosh, from Roots and Wings that help teachers and kids in distress and childhood cancer. We make nothing at the cafe.
No, we're not looking to make money on this.
We don't even have sponsors. Actually,
Yes.
the VCAR Global said, can we sponsor your event?
We said no.
And we said no.
You said no.
I said no, and then I told you. I go,
Yes.
don't be mad, but
Okay.
what they're doing, they're taking their sponsorship money as a full for-profit company, and they're buying tickets for the Florence Fuller Foundation. So the kids from Florence Fuller and one of their family members can come to the hockey game.
That's right.
So it's kind of double dipping. So they're taking their money, they're sending the kids to the game, and then the $6 from each ticket they purchase still goes back to Florence Fuller. So it's a win-win all the way around. So if you are a for-profit company and you just want to give back, let us know. If you are a foundation, we still have the month of March to get you involved. Let us know, because the more lives we can touch, the better it is for everyone.
And a few ideas: if you are a not-for-profit and you don't have the monies to buy tickets, you're selling tickets. We're not asking a not-for-profit to buy tickets. There are members that when you raise money, this is going to be the same awareness, and the money is going to you. But what's going to happen here is you're going to meet other not-for-profits, other profits. We're going to put you on the air as we're doing a show.
We're doing a live show at 5:30. All ticket prices include admission. They all include parking. They all include a free live show with us up in the Chairman's Club Lounge at 5:30. Then you enjoy the game. If you buy the tickets in the Lord Stanley Loft, it's all inclusive of food, drinks, soft drinks, and it's an amazing opportunity to network. And that's I think the most important thing you and I get to do is we network. And everyone that comes forward, right? We had ladies here about fashion and makeovers. And then we had Dr. Jessica Vera talking about the Elite Foundation. You think about these girls that have been subject to human trafficking, that need a makeover from the inside out or outside in, however they need to love themselves. And all they do is sit here and they get to meet.
Well, the other thing is you got vets. You got the 102. What was it?
They're going to be here next week, actually, Foundation Operation 120.
And you saw what happened with the veteran. He blew a gasket and started shooting people, and that doctor saved lives. All of that is covered. I mean, we covered so many different topics, and we invite you to come down. We invite you to come and share who you are, what your companies are. We'll figure it out.
But I have to tell everyone, the best thing that's happening
Yeah.
early in March, because then the Cafe on Ice is really the biggest thing, because that's our birthday week.
Yeah.
Because it is now March, and it is birthday week coming up for both of us.
It's her birthday. not
And
mine.
the Cafe on Ice is right in the middle of it.
Her
But
birthday, not
before
mine.
that happens next week,
Yes.
next Saturday, I need you all to save the date. All right, get ready, because on Saturday, March 9th at 8 a.m., it is Healing Heals Walkathon, and it
Oh,
is to
jeez.
benefit the Elite Foundation and what it's like to literally walk in her shoes as a victim of human trafficking, what it's like to be there, and the men they refer to as guardians of hope. And that is everything you talk about, Freddie.
It is, except it's going to be a very
However,
painful experience.
Men are wearing high heels as well to do this walkathon.
Only if they
including
find a shoe that
Freddie.
fits.
So what we were told, gentlemen, if you would like to participate in this walkathon and wear heels, you need to go up a size and a half. So if anyone, here's our all call, has an 11 and a half wedge little kitten heel shoe or something for Freddie to borrow, let us know. Because
if you don't,
he's
don't
going
worry
to be, you going to walk this with me?
I told you I pulled a hammy.
It's only a quarter mile. Anyone can do it.
A
but it's
quarter
really
mile, a
just
man
about-
in a quarter mile in wearing high heel shoes
You
in
know
a
what it
quarter
is?
mile.
It's like walking from here to the bathroom.
It's like walking from here to California.
It's like walking from here to the back of the gallery. That's
It's
about
like
it.
not for a guy. How do guys don't know how to wear high heel shoes? I'm already in pain.
But
Call
to regis-
911.
Register for the event. It's elitefundsfreedom.org. It'll be a great event. There's so many amazing events that are happening and so much awareness. Just get out and participate and just show up.
Just
it's
show
not
up.
always easy.
Why can't I just show up?
Just, you know what, Freddie, just show up.
I'll bring pom-poms.
Just show up. Just do what you got to do.
I'll root. I'll sing a song or something.
And you know what Monday we're having? You know, sometimes it's just about showing up and where you are. And I walked to get lunch last week, and I happened to wander into a pizza place, Marco's Pizza in Boynton Beach, at the Quantum Towers, and there was a flyer about drowning prevention. And I reached out. It's called Live Like Jake, and it's a foundation that started because his family lost their son right before he was 3 years old to drowning. And they have scholarships that are open to other siblings that have lost a member of their family to drowning, or if, you know, the child he did not, or he or she did not pass from it, but they need help and they need Scholarship Monday, the foundation helps them as well. So they will be here Monday with us in the cafe. And it's not just swimming, and it's not just survival swimming. Again, it's watching, and it's the layers, right? It's parental or guardian supervision. It's the pool safety fence. It's the swimming instructions. We need all of this in South Florida. We need all of this for the kids because we laugh. It's 40 degrees in Texas. I don't know what it is in New York, but here year-round everyone's swimming.
Yes. Well, there's also another side to that story. We're not going to talk about it. We'll wait until it happens, but there was a negative side to this whole story. And, you know, sometimes when you give people information, they think that you are treating it a different way. So tune into that next week as well.
But where were we yesterday? It was a busy week. I got to tell you, we were at Burger Stop. How was that?
Burger Stop was it's a fantastic place. If you got something to do, put it off. On the weekend, check out Burger Stop. Go down to Fort Lauderdale, check it out. Tell them the cafe sent you. The food there, they got a 40-ounce steak on the menu. And if you
carnivore favorites or something,
if you eat that thing and you let us know you're gonna eat it, we will put cameras on you because it's gonna be like man versus food. That show.
I'm telling you, the hamburgers at this place, besides the place is decorated unbelievably. They've got a trailer in it that they've turned into a milkshake truck. They've got a truck that's the bar, that's the
beers.
What's that called?
Beers on Tap.
Thank you, Beers on Tap. They've turned this truck into Beers on Tap.
It's amazing. And if you have an organization, you want to hold a party or you want to hold a conference, a meeting, place is humongous. It holds people. Very nice place.
It's at 1930 East Sunrise Boulevard. Just have to head east towards the Galleria Mall.
Good.
Towards the Galleria Mall.
Well, I know. It's right by the movie theater where I used to hang out, but that's a great place.
But it's an incredible place. The hamburgers and the milkshakes. The pretzels are about the size of this table. We also had the wings. Like a food coma yesterday.
It's never ending.
Never ending. You can certainly share a hamburger. If you go and ask for Big Mike, tell him Dawn and Freddie sent you from the Brooklyn Cafe TV. And you know what? Sometimes you just have to indulge. Even when you're on a lifestyle plan on weight loss. I'm not going to use the D word. You know what? One day a week indulge. One meal a week indulge.
Well,
have some fun.
I got the taste. I didn't get to indulge. But
Paul and I got to indulge.
Oh my God, Paul was singing the
You see Paul, he's like, yeah, and he's singing, and he's taking pictures, and...
Now, real quick, we invite all of you to come down. We're going to be at Blues Room. We're going to be going to Nino's. We're going to be going to a few other eateries that JoJo picked for us. A lot of things coming up. We're going to tell people, come on down because we want to see you. We want to meet and greet. Come on down and meet the people we're going to have on the show. So more starting Monday, more exciting news, more, and a little bit more.
And I have to let you know, our heart tokens are now registering on our website.
Yes.
And we've got new cards coming up because everyone who gets to come in the cafe, we always say the heart chooses you. So we have these amazing heart tokens because in our world you have to spread hope and love one heart at a time. Everyone who comes on, they get to pick a token and they are all numbered. You go to brooklyncafe.tv, you register your hope heart. Ah, you know what mine says?
What does it say?
Shine your light.
Yeah, but you have one, so put that back.
I'm going to put it back. Pick one for tonight. Pick one to get you through the weekend. My dad keeps it with him. My dad has been in the hospital 6 times in 4 months. You know what? He keeps it in his pocket now all the time. What's yours say, Freddie?
Hope.
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 I'm telling you, we did not even create these. These were created for us. You register it, and when you are ready to spread hope and someone else needs it that you see, you give it to them. You pass it along with the card on how to register. Send a message, and let's see. It's like a flat stand. Let's see how far hope and love can actually travel in this world.
That's right. And you know something? There's not enough hope, not enough love to go around. Join the fun. Come on down. 1440 North Federal Highway in Del Rey is where the studio is. Come and say hi. And we'll treat you to a cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee and a hope heart. We're here tonight till 9 o'clock. Happy anniversary to the Heart of Del Rey Gallery. 2 years. Thank you for always hosting us. and being so kind, and we have so much fun here. We get a little noisy sometimes. So thank you, Dan and Michelle and all the artists that are a little patient with us.
So we're almost done tonight. There's going to be one more show. It's going to be the Heart of the Way. It's going to be doing a production at 7 o'clock. Tune in right here on amp2.tv Productions. And I guess, partner, I'll see you Monday after that.
If you want a glass of Prosecco, come on up. Have a great weekend. Be kind to each other. We will see you Monday, 12 to 2. Have a great weekend.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye. And there you have it.
This has been Tell Us Your Business, where a special guest comes on every week and tells us what they do. All shows can be seen on amp2.tv, and if you wish to be a guest, call 866-224-5422 and tell us about your business. That's 866-224-5422. This has been an amp2.tv production. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would just listen? It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have the platform to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 80800. That's CAFE to 80800.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Are you ready? It is your time to take a few moments from your busy day to unwind, be inspired, and listen to the psychic insights of your host, empowerment psychic, Hallie Elise, a top 100 psychic, speaker, and author. Off air, be sure to connect with Hallie at HallieElise.com. And now, the Hallie Elise Show.
Welcome, everyone. So glad you could join us this evening. It's funny, I was thinking about this evening's show and contemplating what subject matter should we cover. And what came in very strongly was expectation. And not expectation necessarily of yourself, but of other people. I've been speaking a lot to couples lately. Sometimes the men come in, sometimes the women come in. And it's so fascinating that we have this idea or this view that the other person is supposed to do what we expect. Now, it's funny in the sense of when you're with somebody for a really long time, you think, well, by now they must know. By now they should get it. I shouldn't have to explain anything, and I shouldn't have to remind them. But the truth is, we're all individuals. What if we were to not necessarily lower our expectation, but shift our expectation to that other person being the best that they could be in the best way that they are most comfortable? Something to kind of contemplate here. The irony is when we are seeking out a relationship, we usually talk about the qualities we want in someone, how they're going to make us feel. We don't often include the other end of it, which is how are we going to make them feel? And again, something to kind of contemplate. And the reason, as I mentioned, is I've been seeing a lot of couples that come in and they want to know what's going on with their relationship. Should they stay? Should they go? What's going on? Not just what's going on, but can they control some of this? Can they make some changes that really would give them that longevity? And it's fascinating because there doesn't seem to be a time limit on it. There are individuals that come in that have been together for 3 years and others that have been together for 25 years. And the fascinating thing is the quandary is the same, no matter the time frame. That said, it makes me really wonder if we were to intuitively tap in, how much of a difference would it make? If we were to intuitively tap in and say, okay, what would make Johnny happy today? Or how could I communicate better with Johnny for him to understand better, which in turn would make me feel better? How can I do that? And a lot of people go, oh, come on, this is too much work. However, is there really anything in life that you don't put effort towards that you want? If you want to make a great meal, you don't just get the worst ingredients or things that are starting to go bad. You look for the best that you can find, right? Don't you want the same thing in a relationship? In a job? When we go for a job, we want to be appreciated. We want to be acknowledged. We want to get along with our coworkers. You don't want to go into a job where everybody's mean and nasty and you're uncomfortable. In all the places, whether it is in our religious sect, or it is a familial environment, or it is going even to the grocery store, don't we choose